Sutra of Complete Enlightenment. Chapter 3, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, who was in the assembly, rose from his seat, prostrated himself with his head at the feet of the Buddha, circled him thrice from the right, bowed down upon his knees, brought together his two palms with crossed fingers, and said, "O world-honored one of great compassion, for the benefit of the Bodhisattvas in this assembly, and of future living beings practicing Mahayana in the period of the Dharma's termination, may you explain what they should practice upon hearing about this pure and clean, complete enlightenment. World-honored one, if these living beings know that like illusory knowledge, both body and mind are also illusions, how will the illusory subject practice by means of the illusory object? If all is of an illusory nature, there is total annihilation of things. There will be no mind, and so who will be the practicer? Why do you speak of practice which is like an illusion? If fundamentally there is no practice, all living beings would always abide in samsaric illusions without knowing them. In this illusory realm, how can their discriminating minds be liberated? May you teach the expedient method of gradual practice so that future living beings in the period of the Dharma's termination can keep from all illusions forever." After saying these words, he again made the same prostration and the same request for a second and a third time. The world-honored one then said to Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, "Excellent! Excellent! Virtuous man, it is good that for the benefit of bodhisattvas and also of future living beings in the period of the Dharma's termination, you are able to ask for the expedient method of a bodhisattva's gradual practice of the samadhi attained after cognition of illusions to enable them to keep from illusions. Listen attentively to what I now tell you." Samantabhadra Bodhisattva was filled with joy upon hearing this. He and the assembly kept silent to hear the teaching. The Buddha said, "Virtuous man, all kinds of illusions of living beings arise from the wondrous mind of the Tathagata's complete enlightenment. They are like flowers in the sky, which come from the void. When these illusory flowers vanish, the nature of the void is undamaged. The illusory minds of all living beings will disappear as their illusions vanish, and when all their illusions vanish completely, their enlightened minds remain immutable. To speak of enlightenment while clinging to illusions is also to create an illusion. To say that enlightenment exists is to fail to keep from illusions. Likewise, to say that there is no enlightenment is also to create an illusion. Therefore, the disappearance of illusions means immutability of mind. Virtuous man, all bodhisattvas and future living beings in the period of the Dharma's termination should keep from all illusions. The realm of illusions continues to exist because the mind clings firmly to the idea of avoiding them. This mind is an illusion and should also be kept away. The idea of keeping from this mind is an illusion and should also be avoided. The new idea of avoiding the illusion of keeping from the mind should also be avoided. When there is nothing further to avoid, all illusions vanish. By way of illustration, after a fire obtained from wood by friction has completely burned the two pieces of wood which produced it, and when there is no more smoke, the ashes will scatter in the wind. Likewise, the practice by the illusory subject by means of the illusory object does not lead to the annihilation of anything after the disappearance of all illusions. Virtuous man, when illusions are known as such, one will keep from them without using any expedients. When one keeps from illusions, one is enlightened without passing through any gradual stages. All bodhisattvas and future living beings in the period of the Dharma's termination should practice self-cultivation accordingly, so that they can be rid of illusions forever. To repeat his instruction, the world-honored one read the following gatha. Samantabhadra, you should know that since time without beginning, the dreamlike ignorance of living beings came from the Tathagata's completely enlightened mind. 'Tis like a flower in the sky, appearing in the void. When in the sky it vanishes, space actually does not change. Illusions come from incomplete awareness, which when they vanish become perfect. For the enlightened mind ne'er changes. Therefore, all bodhisattvas and those who live in the Dharma ending age should always avoid illusions which vanish like a fire produced by friction of two sticks of wood. When these burn out, fire also vanishes. There is no gradual enlightenment, and there are no expedients.